Welcome to your Bell Rug Pro Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, KG. With us tonight, guys, co-host of Wrestling Memories, none other than the Grizzle Vet. Also joining us is Florida Championship Wrestling veteran, WCW veteran, and also author of Looking Up at the Lights. I'm talking about Robbie Idol. Gentlemen, SmackDown. It was decent. Couple of goofy things in there we'll get to. But first, how are you doing?
Wonderful.
I'm good.
How are you?
You know, if I was doing any better, I wouldn't know what to do with myself. Yeah, SmackDown tonight. Like I said, there's some couple of things that made me scratch my head, but then there's some really good things as well. Overall, we'll start with you, Robbie. What did you think about the show?
Yeah, plus and minuses. It was okay.
Yeah. Grizzle, by the way, I was able to catch from the get-go, so I was able to take notes the entire show.
Okay.
Make your life easier. What did you think overall?
I'm with Robbie. There was some good stuff. There was some bad stuff. They went to 3 hours and they just haven't clicked yet.
Right.
As with the thing, Raw goes well, has a pattern. SmackDown does not. They just kind of be flinging shit at the wall. See what sticks.
Yeah. But hasn't it always been like that for the 3 hour shows?
Well, yeah. And Raw and SmackDown going back and forth between, because now I'm hearing that they're going to go back to 2 hours here pretty soon. So
SmackDown?
Yes.
Hey, man, I'm all for that.
Makes two of us.
Robbie go to sleep earlier.
That's it.
Look, you know what? As you know, Robbie doesn't get any sleep on Fridays. He's up at 2 a.m, and we're doing these at 10:30 at night. And all I'm saying is he's not the one that's fallen asleep on the show. Just saying. Let's get into it, guys. We opened up with a bunch of video packages of Elimination Chamber, which we knew that was going to happen. Standard WWE. The show really opened up with Randy Orton. He talks about his career. He talks about he's been in 20 WrestleManias, but he's only main evented twice. He went on to say some other things, but Trick Williams decides to interrupt. And he's making an issue out of Randy Orton, making an issue out of Trick Williams' height. I guess Randy Orton, laughed at Trick Williams at being 6'5". So they get in the ring, and Randy's laughing at him, and Trick Williams is talking about his shoes, his lemon pepper steppers. And as he's looking down, Randy looks down too, and all of a sudden RKO's him. I thought it was good. It was entertaining. I didn't mind it. Grizzle?
No, it was a good start. I mean, no stupidity, no outside interference, no fights, no security. Just, Randy cutting a promo talking about his career. I didn't realize he's been in 20 WrestleManias.
Yeah.
'Cause I remember when Randy Orton first started and then he got injured and you had the Randy News Network where he would update you on his injury status. And I'm at 30%. And I feel like Robbie, I'm getting old.
Yeah, and Robbie, before we go to you, I want to talk about a couple of things that's happening. First, apparently the Road Dogg stepped down. He's no longer with WWE, creative-wise, which means that there was someone who got promoted. Alexandra Williams was promoted to vice president and lead writer at WWE. Now, for those who are not familiar with her, she's been with the company since 2020. She joined as a writer and a producer for Monday Night Raw. And over the past several years, she has played a growing role behind the scenes. Now, before she joined WWE, very different career. She's from Las Vegas. She was originally pursuing a career in classic ballet. After relocating to Los Angeles, she transitioned into film and television, where she worked as a writer, producer, and actor on various projects. Robbie, not a wrestling person. I mean, I guess she is now. She's been with the company for 6 years. Apparently, I think she's doing a good enough job for her to promote her. But she didn't come from professional wrestling. I've read comments from people on social media chattering, saying maybe this is why Raw and SmackDown hasn't been the best the past few years. But I kind of take that with a grain of salt because people will cry and bitch and whine regardless, right? What are your feelings? And you're someone professional wrestler. What are your thoughts about having non-wrestling people in creative writing?
I mean, I guess they can add to stuff depending on what they're bringing, But I mean, if you're letting them like set up matches and stuff without a background, that's got to be rough. I mean, they probably bring stuff to the table and they don't bring stuff to the table, if that makes sense.
Right. Well, but let's not forget that Grizzle, going to you. Oh, what's his name? Junior, who was writing for WWE during the Attitude Era.
Freddie Prinze.
Yeah, Freddie Prinze Jr. He didn't come from a wrestling background, and I'd have to argue that he's pretty damn successful in creative. Yeah?
Yeah, he was, but you got to remember one thing, though, too. Freddie Prinze Jr. was also a fan of wrestling from, childhood. So, we always say wrestling, people in wrestling. If you're a diehard wrestling fan, I'll be honest with you, I could probably sit down and write some decent television for WWE. Not that I'm looking for a job or anything, but, just because, watching it for years, you pick up things. No, I read about the woman. I saw the picture, which, of course, has set off the internet wrestling community. Oh my God, look at her, man. She's hot. She's the head writer. Get over it. Jesus God. You know? An attractive woman gets a position and we all turn into
Granny Holster says, good evening, everyone. Granny.
Hello, Granny.
What's up, Granny?
I really appreciate it. It's funny, though, all these people who are crying and, oh, well, maybe this is why WWE hasn't been the greatest. Fucking what? A year, 2 years ago, you guys are praising and singing how much WWE improved when Triple H took over. The same people who was singing Triple H is singing his praises once Vince left, talking about how much better WWE's gotten.
Excuse me.
Well, you know what? Miss Alexandria, she was there then. So obviously it wasn't too bad because you guys thought it was great.
Yeah, but now we know there's a woman writing our wrestling.
Right.
She's pretty. She a woman, though. She wear a skirt. They don't know how to do no wrestling. It's wrestling. What do women know about wrestling? That hurt my head even talking like that. God damn.
Robbie, back to you. My question is, even though she's been there since 2020, obviously she's been deeply involved in, writing and creative. Do you think that her being promoted to vice president, do you think that we're going to see some changes within creative, or probably not? It's going to kind of stay the same.
If there is changes, you hope it's for the better. Hard to say. I mean, she's been there, we're going, 6 years. Just depends on how much she picked up in that time. I mean, the bad part is not being a wrestling fan.
Right.
Or having watched it or have a background of it. So hard to say, what she's picked up in these 6 years. If she paid attention and picked it up, and hopefully change for the better. If not, I bet everything just stays the same.
Yeah, but at the same time, you say you hope to change for the better, and look, better is always good. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think WWE has been that bad. Yeah, there's been some things that it could have been better, and obviously we would love for storylines to improve always. But I don't think it's been bad, Grizzle.
It hasn't been bad, but then again, I'm one of those that doesn't think our country is that bad either. So I don't know why we're trying to make it great again. Sorry.
No politics.
It's people's perceptions, unfortunately. I don't like what they're doing. It's crap. No, it's not crap.
Right.
You don't like it. There's the gist. Now, here's my question, though. We read that Road Dogg stepped down or is gone. Then we read this woman got promoted to head of creative. Are the two tied together?
I don't know. That's
what I want to know. Did Road Dogg leave because she got promoted? Or did she decide that Road Dogg wasn't necessary?
Yeah, see, and I would love to know that too. I've read that he just stepped down. I've also read that he was let go. Who knows? I mean, we're not back there. We don't know. That's why I didn't even bring that up, because I have no answers about that.
I don't know the answer, but it's just kind of curious because the two things happened at the same time, and they're kind of tied together. So,
see, this is what I'm really curious about, more so than anything else. Sorry, it's the first thing that went to my head. That is a major thing to have Road Dogg and not be with WWE anymore. I don't know, Robbie. Do you see another company like AEW picking him up? Because let's not forget, he has a buddy that works there too. You know, Billy Gunn.
Yeah, he may. You know, he may. It just depends on how he left, what kind of terms, you know, if they were bad terms or whatever. Hard to say. But yeah, and I mean, if he still wants to be involved in the business, I mean, I can see him going to AEW.
Let's also not forget, Grizzle, that TNA is an option as well, although TNA working that closely with WWE. Do you think that that'd be some type of a conflict of interest, even though WWE doesn't own TNA?
I don't know if it'd be a conflict of interest. I think AEW might be more, because we all know Tony could use some help backstage. You know, whether or not he would accept it or look for it or bring it over, I don't know. He could definitely use it though.
Right.
Yeah, but
I think Road Dogg would be a fit.
No, I'll be honest with you. I would love to see Road Dogg not only in creative, right, in AEW, but to also be a character. Let him be the new GM for Dynamite, because they need it.
Right, but also the rumors is that Shane's over there too, though.
Yeah, that's I'm not going to believe that until I see it, because I mean they've gone as far as leaking pictures of Shane McMahon and Tony Khan supposedly together, right? I mean, there's been so much about Shane McMahon with AEW that until that happens, I'm not going to believe it. But you know what? I'm not going to believe that Road Dogg's there until I see it as well. So, but let's say Shane McMahon is with AEW. You don't think he would like to bring someone he's very familiar with, like Road Dogg?
Right.
Grizzle?
Once again, like you said, I ain't gonna believe it until I see it. You know, we don't know who the fit's gonna be, so
right.
Shane's there, Road Dogg's there. Who knows? Road Dogg might even be retiring. He might decide he's done.
That's something else I thought about. Other big news, and I'm not. This didn't just happen, but it's still big, and it's worth talking about for a moment. So Netflix is no longer buying Warner Brothers.
Nope.
Now Paramount is the front runner.
Oh no, Paramount has bought.
Oh, now I missed that.
Paramount has bought. So and Paramount and HBO Max are actually going to blend together into one streaming app. That came out the other day. I think yesterday it came out.
Okay. What's going to happen with AEW? Do you think Paramount's going to keep them?
I won't see why they wouldn't.
I think it'd be a dumb move.
Paramount doesn't. Well, actually, no. Because Paramount has the UFC deal where they show UFC fights and all that. UFC's TKO, TKO's WWE. Okay, I hadn't thought about that one yet. I forgot about that part.
I don't know, guys. I mean, could this be another repeat of WCW's fucking doom?
No. Tony Khan's got far more money than WCW had at the time, because they didn't have Billionaire Ted. They were trying to sell. Right. Tony's got money. Tony's got influence. Tony will move to another spot. I don't see that being an issue.
There's Grizzle. There's a but there, because you're right. He does have a lot of money, but at the same time, when he was trying to get a spot for Collision, even he was having problems. And then that Collision, the one that used to come on Friday nights,
Rampage.
Yeah, Rampage, right? When he wanted to put that out, he had a problem. he had a problem trying to find a place for Ring of Honor. He wanted that to be on TV. Couldn't find that spot.
Yeah,
So
Ring of Honor is going to TV now, though.
Is
They
it
just have
really?
yes, they just did their first tapings in an actual studio in Tampa.
Which
So
channel?
they're doing studio tapings now.
What network? What network?
I don't know. It's they're doing studio taping, kind of like the NWA thing.
Right.
So they're actually doing studio tapings now for Ring of Honor, and there is a TV deal being announced like later. So Tony's got something for a TV deal, and they're doing studio tapings. So I don't know where they're going to go.
But that's great. But I'm just saying, at the beginning with ROH, that's why ROH has been off of TV for so long. He couldn't find a deal to save his life. It took him a couple of years.
When Tony bought Ring of Honor, literally all he bought were the letters ROH. Yeah. That was it. They didn't have TV. They didn't have a streaming thing. Nothing. He has Honor Club now. And, of course, if you have streaming sites, you can find Ring of Honor. But, just saying. Tony just bought the letters ROH because he's such a mark for wrestling.
Right. Well, we'll see. Getting back to WWE, Robbie, your thought on this segment with Randy Orton?
It was okay. I just thought a little too long. The interview or the promo by Randy. I liked the trick thing. I just thought it was a little drawn out, but that's the way they go on the beginning anyway. So
right. Next, guys, we go to a video from earlier the day. Carmelo Hayes and Nick Aldis talking about the Open Challenge, and Nick Aldis was going to tell him who his opponent was, and Carmelo Hayes said, "I don't want to know," which leads us going to the ring. First match of the night, an Open Challenge for the United States title. Carmelo Hayes versus Dr. Wagner III.
El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr.
Yes, from AAA.
It's a mouthful.
Yeah, from AAA. I'm going to be honest. This was probably my least favorite match, or at least one of them. They just didn't dance well, in my opinion, especially the first half of the match. I think the second half of the match, it got pulled together. First half of the match, I just thought that it was a little, they didn't mesh well together. Grizzle?
Wow. I mean, hey, Robbie, mark this down on your calendar. KG and I agree right off the start. I didn't care for this match either. El Hijo del Wagner Jr., he's a larger man for a luchador, so doesn't really wrestle that luchador style, although he still is considered a luchador. Carmelo's style is faster. It's more high intense. The two didn't match, in my opinion. I think Dr. Wagner or El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr. God damn, that's a mouthful. I think
that's why I said Dr. Wagner Jr. the third fucking show off.
Well, it's not Dr. Wagner Jr. the third. It would be Dr. Wagner the third.
They had Junior.
I think this is the son of Junior, I think, isn't it? Yeah, El Hijo. I don't fucking know. We're not getting into this shit. Yeah. Anyways, his style he's a larger luchador, so he doesn't do that style. Carmelo's too fast. They, like you said, they didn't dance well. They couldn't. Wagner was too slow for Carmelo. Carmelo was too fast for him. So the stuff was very basic in what they did and very laid out. So
yeah. Now, one thing, and this is not on the wrestlers, this is on production. They got to lower their mics or something because you can literally hear them calling the spots, especially at the pin. Loud and clear. You can hear them calling the spots. Just something I picked up on. Robbie, your thoughts on this match, man? Do you agree that these guys, they're both talented? Dr. Wagner the third, see, that's how Junior Grizzle. Dr. Wagner the third, he is basically the same as Carmelo Hayes, the same equivalent as far as, he holds that title. It's isn't it the Mexican title?
Yeah, the Mexican title.
So it's basically the same title still once Mexico in the United States, right? Obviously, he's talented. His promotion, AAA, have a lot of faith in him for him to hold that title. I think maybe, again, as Grizzle pointed out, that this just was a matter of their styles just didn't match one another, so it didn't make them good dance partners.
Yeah, what a way to start the show off, huh? We all agree on this. But yeah, like what Grizzled said, Wagner was a little bit slower, Melo's faster. It was just kind of, they're both, I mean, he's not bad, but he just, that the pace was probably not what he was used to.
Yep. Mr. Herb Simmons says, good evening, gentlemen. Always a highlight of this podcast. Mr. Herb is watching. Speaking of Mr. Herb Simmons, guys, don't forget Herb. I have been promoted. The guys can tell you, just haven't got to it yet. May 8th and 9th, talking about Fan Fest 4, guys. Go to sicw.org to get your tickets. This will be a fantastic experience, especially if you're a first timer. I'm so excited about this. I cannot wait. They're going to have Mickey James is going to be there. Mick Foley is going to be doing his famous One Night Man show on Friday night. You're going to have JBL that's going to be there. The American Giant's going to be there. So many people, so many legends are going to be there. SICW.org. And although, you know what, I'm not a legend, and I may have this tiny little podcast that's not this big, great, popular one, but I'm still going to be there. Come and say hello. I love to meet people who watch our podcast.
And don't forget, my uncle Austin Idol will be there.
That's right. Yes, Wildfire Tommy Rich is going to be there. The man that almost was responsible for us not having our co-host, Robbie Idol, here because, well, let's just say that Tommy Rich
added to my
advice to Robbie Idol, but Robbie Idol kind of went to the extreme with it. 26 fucking $1,000 a day. Lucky the man's alive. Lucky he didn't bleed to death. Lucky he didn't stub his toe and fucking bleed to death, to be honest with you. But I'm looking forward to meeting Tommy Wildfire Rich. I really am. Herb says, thank you all. It's a pleasure hearing you guys keep our business alive. Sir, you know what? It's because of men like you that we have a business to keep alive. So, no, thank you, Herb. Getting back to the show, guys. Robbie, again, we were talking about the United States Challenge Open Challenge match.
Right. It just the styles were, one moved a little faster, one moved a little slower. And
right.
When you put that, it's just it like you said, doesn't make a good dance partner.
Yeah. Next, guys, we go backstage again to Drag It Off with Kathy Kelly. He's talking about how he's kind of lost matches and whatnot, but he said, when people call me warriors, I'm only a warrior because of the real warrior, my mommy. Oh, my mommy was a warrior, and I do anything for my mommy. Dude, you know what? And this is just maybe a me thing. I am not. There's nothing that just gets under my skin than a mama's boy. I'm sorry. I just don't like mama's boys. This is what it reminded me of. My mommy. Be a fucking man for the love of God. Right?
Fuck you.
Yeah. Oh, I guess I have another mama's boy in the podcast.
I love my mama, asshole.
Oh, I love my mama too. But there's a difference between loving your mama and fucking being a mama's boy.
Didn't say that made him sound like a mama's boy. Said he's fighting for his mother was one of his kind of his inspiration, and
right.
So I wouldn't say that's a mama's boy.
No, I have to agree with that. Like he's
you know what?
Yeah. Mom was an inspiration,
Actually, I'm just joking, guys. I just wanted to see if I was able to get under the vet skin, which I knew I would. So I like the promo actually. The promo actually, you know what? I like the promo because by him going that direction, it actually made it make sense finally. Because it's, and we've talked about it. Okay, dude, you lost a match, but why wouldn't you jump at that opportunity to get your title back, right? It doesn't make sense why you're like, nope. By him explaining it, that his mom had to fight for every fucking thing that they had, and she was a warrior, and he kind of gets how he is from her. For myself, it was a moment. It tied it together. Then, of course, The Miz came and said, you got to seize the opportunity. And then Kip Wilson was talking about his toxic masculinity shit again. And then drag it off, kind of walks off saying this is going to be a good opportunity, kind of leaving it where it could either be The Miz or Kip Wilson. Of course, Miz, being the leader he is, says, Kip, this is a good opportunity for you, buddy. Walks off. Kip, what? Again, I think it tied it together. I liked it. Let's start with you, Robbie.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. So, I mean, you know it's going to be him against Kip. You know, the toxic thing is just getting old. I mean, on my end, but I guess I get it, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. And speaking of toxic masculinity, in my mind went on way to kind of politics, which went back to Triple H and his role, what he's doing. Apparently, WWE has signed, and let me get the young lady's name, Robert Kennedy Jr.'s niece to WWE. It is, her name would be, give me 1 second, guys, forgive me. Oh, here it is. Zoe Hines. WWE signed her. She is the niece of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. She signed a contract with WWE. The news became public after Kennedy mentioned the signing while speaking at the University of Florida, a state that my wife and I will be moving to soon. So excited about that. During his remarks, Kennedy referenced the connection between Hines and longtime wrestling executive Linda McMahon. McMahon has maintained a close relationship with the Kennedy family over the years and previously served in leadership roles within WWE before entering politics and business. A lot of guys, a lot of people, not just men, both men and women, have been crying about how, this is nepotism in a way. Now, my thing is this is my opinion, right? And we're not going full-blown politics on this because we don't talk politics on this podcast. This is my opinion. I don't give a shit who her mom or dad is. I don't give a shit who her uncle is. I don't care. If she's a fucking talent, if she could go in the ring, by God, sign her. That's how I feel about it. This whole crying about nepotism shit, again, if someone is talented in the ring, I don't care. Logan Paul, people, he was an outsider and he shouldn't be signed. The motherfucker is one of the best things going in professional wrestling right now. And I'm not just talking about WWE. I'm talking about professional wrestling as a whole, in my opinion. So I don't care if she got signed or not. Good for her if she's actually good. Robbie, start with you about this.
Okay, if she isn't a talent, they're not going to sign her.
Right.
They're not going to waste their time with her. So she obviously is talented. Does it help? Man, maybe it helps or not, but I mean, they're not gonna try to sign her or bring her along if she isn't worth anything, because it doesn't do them any good.
Exactly. That's my thing, man. You want to talk about, professional wrestling being a business, especially with WWE. It's a fucking business, buddy, and they're not going to do anything that's going to make things harder for themselves.
Right. It's a big business, you know. I mean, so if she isn't talented, they're not bringing her in. Right.
Now, Grizzle, here's the thing, though, man. Some may argue maybe she's good, and I agree with you, Kevin. But look how many other people are better than her, and yet they haven't been signed yet. She got to kind of jump in front. What's your thoughts?
Well, that's what I was going to say when Robbie started. They wouldn't sign her if she's not a talent, which is true. You're not going to sign somebody with no talent. But here's the thing. Say there's girl A and girl B. She's A, there's another girl, that's girl B. They're both equally talented. They're both equally, charismatic. They're both equally, they're equal. But you sign this one instead. Why? Because she's Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s niece.
There's another reason, though, and I'll tell you why. I knew that's exactly where you're going to go. And I don't disagree with you, obviously, but...
Yeah, there's a little bit of...
but here's the thing, though. But here's the caveat to what you said. Someone else they would have signed, we wouldn't be hearing their names until they're at NXT or wherever. right away.
Mm-hmm.
Her name's out there.
Because of who her uncle is.
But her name's still out there.
Yeah.
So people are talking. This keeps conversation. WWE, once again, in the conversation. So you have to argue, yeah, it's kind of shitty, but at the same time, business-wise, might be a little bit of a smart move. No?
Right. But okay, look, I'm gonna throw two names out there. One was, and you can see that. So both of them really don't have talent. One was more talented than the other.
Oh boy.
So Nia Jax, who she related to, and then Ava. And what did you see Ava do at NXT? And when she couldn't cut it because of who she was, they still found a spot for her. And you can guarantee the reason they kept Ava was because of who she was related to.
Robbie?
Yeah.
Ava was the best female professional wrestler they have had in the past 50 years. And they would have put her with Nia Jax. That tag team would have gone on in history to be talked about, not only in the same level, but above as the Rock and Roll Express and the Midnight Express. What are you talking about, man?
I was going to say, have you not
People, we apologize for tonight's show. KG's drunk.
Because you're delirious saying that.
KG drunk. We apologize for the content of this conversation.
I think he hasn't slept in like 4 days and he's delirious right now saying that.
What are those pills you keep popping over there? I see you chewing on something. I thought they were Tums. I don't think so now.
Oh, man.
I thought he lost it there for a minute.
I don't even know where we are. I know we were talking about Dragon Off. Were we done discussing that? Did Robbie, Grizzle, you guys both got to put your input?
Yeah, we put our input with it.
And somehow because you
talked about the signing of the girl of Robert
Right.
Kennedy Jr.
Right.
Yeah.
Because of the word of opportunity, right? It was a good segue, opportunity.
Okay.
I'm starting to get this thing, man, this hosting shit. We stay backstage with Nick Aldis talking to Damian Priest with R-Truth. Comes up and it's announced that their tag team for the a match called Tag Team Turmoil. I'm sorry, Turmoil tonight. Drew McIntyre. Then of course we see Drew McIntyre comes in. He tells Nick Aldis that they made an agreement that unless Cody Rhodes won the Royal Rumble or the Elimination Chamber, he would never have to face Cody Rhodes again. And Nick Aldis said, well, buddy, you broke your word, so I'm breaking my word. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm kind of on Drew McIntyre side with this argument. Because, man, come on. If we've been according to how many times such and such broke their words, then we would have chaos going on everywhere because the managers are breaking their words. Drew McIntyre has a point. I think Nick Aldis has something up his ass against Drew McIntyre. That kind of got me on Team McIntyre tonight. Grizzle?
Well, I thought this from the end because I didn't get to talk when you guys talked about Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
Randy Orton wins the Chamber and gets the title shot at WrestleMania. Cody Rhodes loses the Elimination Chamber and gets the shot 6 days later.
Which we're going to go to what you're about to talk about in a second because I agree with somebody else. Go ahead, Grizzle.
But no, I kind of sided with Drew on this a little bit, which though between this and some other things that happened tonight, it's making me think that this is not going to be one-on-one Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes.
Oh.
It's going to be and it's just getting bigger to the point where it could be even bigger than what I thought, which I'm scared of.
Look, but you know what, Grizzle, Robbie, we've been calling this for a while now. We've been saying that this match is going to be a fatal four or possibly a three-way, right? Robbie, what say you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm on side Drew. Truthfully, I wanted the feud done with Rhodes and McIntyre, but it's one of those things that I don't think it's going to ever end. So
right. Now, guys, next was the bathroom break portion of SmackDown, or self-torture, whatever you want to do, as the celebration with Nia Jax, Last Legend.
Oh, wait, man, they earned their spot. Shit. Let's celebrate. Let's celebrate with them.
Yeah,
bathroom
break. Irresistible forces.
That's rude.
They say any and all challengers are welcomed. It's fitting to have a toast since it's Women's Month, because, of course, they were the dominant champions. Then what a shocker. Completely unpredictable that Flair and Alexa Bliss would interrupt. Bliss said Nia found a coattail to ride to the top. Bliss blames them for her and Flair losing their titles. Then, of course, we have Kiana James and Julia, who shows up. Kiana James said that, no, actually, they are the next challengers for the titles. And then Julia went off and said, who fucking knows what she said, but she said something.
Very much so. Very
and Eldest comes out and makes a match. Flair Bliss against Julia and Kiana James. Guys, they lost me at this point. Just wasn't interested. Didn't care, Robbie.
Yeah, I mean, I was thankful that even though you didn't want them to come out, I was thankful Alexa and Charlotte came out so we didn't have to hear Lash and Nia. And then you brought out Kiana and Julia. Please don't give Julia the mic. I'll give her props in the ring. She's good in the ring, but dear God, she just don't give her the mic. But you know, in a way, I wish they would have put Julia and Kiana over just to see how, you know, something different instead of putting Charlotte and Alexa over.
Yep.
Just would have been it would have been nice for just different, and it would have been kind of would have been good to see how Kiana and Julia worked with Lash and Nia.
See, and that point right there is exactly why I said they lost me, because I knew goddamn well that it was going to be Alexa Bliss and Flair that was going to win. That's going to be challenging the irresistible forces, Lash and Nia. And it's something we've seen how many times now? It would have been nice to see something different, because I may have been a little invested at that point just to see, because I like Julia and I like Kiana James as a team. I really do. I think that they work well together. But that's not what we got. Grizzle?
One, we were discussing the backstage thing with Damian Priest and R-Truth, and then we kind of skipped on that for a second. I was just going to say, you mentioned it, but we didn't actually give our points on it, because I wanted to say that the promo kind of gave away what was going to happen later on in the show, in my opinion.
You think so? It didn't for me.
It was pretty much a dead giveaway for me.
Yeah, for me, I was
like, shit.
We'll get there to that match, but I was pleasantly surprised, because when a certain team came out, I rolled my eyes. I'm like, okay.
Well, we'll get to it in a minute. I just wanted to throw that promo thing.
But what did you think about this?
I didn't care that they came out to like have champagne and drink whatever, celebrate whatever. I was expecting people to come out a lot sooner. You know, nobody. Here they come. Oh, no, nobody yet. Okay, we're gonna drink. Oh, wait, here they come. Nope, nobody yet. So it dragged out a little bit. Finally, Alexa and Charlotte come out. Charlotte's already ready to fight, so I'm like, okay, there's a match coming up, obviously.
Right.
Julia was fine doing what she did. I don't, whatever. She spit some out in Japanese and then said her one line. Give her a chance. I don't care. It's not like we haven't seen that before. Kiana, in my opinion, though, was the best of this entire promo, just because she made the comment. I beat you last week to get into the Elimination Chamber. I pinned you in the Elimination Chamber. So I was like, goddamn, go Kiana. She was kind of like the highlight of the promo for me.
Yep.
When because she said something that made sense. I've already beat you guys.
And you know what, Grizzle? I think that she has a point. I think that Kiana and Julia kind of got fucked tonight. Yeah, I get it. They could have beaten Bliss and Flair to earn, but she does have a point. So why did you have to have a match? This match should have been made at WrestleMania for those championships. But
Because we
no,
like to have teams fight against each other, you know.
right. Yeah. So we also next after this we went to another video package with Jelly Roll announcing he will be at SmackDown next week. Of course, he's a fan of Randy Orton, is his buddy, best friend in wrestling, and he's also a fan of Cody Rhodes. So that's gonna be happening. Next, we go backstage. Kathy Kelly and Cody Rhodes talking about Drew, and I can't understand. Oh, yeah, talking about his match with Drew McIntyre. But then this was the big thing with this backstage promo. Sami Zayn comes out and he's like, man, it's crazy this match is happening. Cody's like, well, what's so crazy about it? And he's like, well, think about it. During the Elimination Chamber, what's what I'm looking for? The match, the qualified Elimination Chamber match, the reason why I lost was because Drew came in, interfered, and I did the right thing. And then what did you do? You put me down and then you pinned me, called me off court, basically. He's like, well, I lost, so you got to move on to Elimination Chamber match. Well, again, Drew interfered. And Randy Orton did the right thing by RKO'ing Drew McIntyre. And then he also RK'd you, and you lost. But yet, here we are. Cody Rhodes, the golden boy, getting a second chance. Cody Rhodes didn't really like that very much. Kind of went off. And then Sami says, man, look, I really came out to say good luck to you. Cody's like, yeah. Walks away, and then we see Sami Zayn once again throw that fit. Grizzle, Sammy has a fucking damn good point, man. It kind of makes Cody Rhodes look like a tool, in my opinion. You know, the guy that he knows the right people to pull the right strings to once again get something that he really doesn't deserve.
This promo made except for the Cody portion part of it. But no, Sammy made perfect sense in his promo. Yes, he threw his little whiny fit at the end, but he made sense. Cody lost the chamber, but yet he still gets a title shot because he's Cody Rhodes. He's the golden. I liked it. Sammy's finally making sense. He's not like whining.
Right.
He's finally saying, "Hey, you lost, and you're still getting this." You know, this is So I like this promo at this point. I think Sammy, which is going to be something I will discuss when we get to the main event, because this time there's a title match with a lot of fucking talking heads, like a lot of interchangeable pieces in this match this year.
Now, what's driving me crazy is when this is all said and done, you know that Sami Zayn is going to be considered the fucking heel, which he shouldn't be. Robbie, your thoughts and everything. And before that, we have says Drew. He says, I hate Cody Rhodes. He goes on to say Drew's reign was ultimately pointless. I can't even argue against that. Robbie?
Right. I have to agree with you guys. It just shows that, Cody knows the right people, where you like we talked about it. Lost at Elimination Chamber. You're like, okay, cool. Hopefully he's out of the picture for a while. And, now this thing, like we talked a little bit earlier, there's so many parts in this piece now,
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. Next, guys, we go to a video. Trick Williams on the Breakfast Club talking about football basically versus wrestling. And right away, this made me think about what's happening with the, what is the quarterback's name again? Tom Brady, is it? That was talking smack about professional wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
Because Trick Williams, like, well, you know, the difference is professional wrestling, man, I'm recognized all over the world versus football. That's kind of like, yeah, you just kind of recognize in the States. I don't know if it was meant as a slap to Tom Brady or not. Just kind of where I went. Next, we have the tag team turmoil, which is a gauntlet match, tag team gauntlet match. Start off with a Motor City Machine Gun versus Fraxium. Guys, there's a spot where I don't know if it was Axiom or the other guy who did a suicide dive, hit Chris Sabian, and Chris's head hit almost the corner of that guardrail right there. And he fell down immediately holding his head. I don't know if that was kayfabe or if that was a shoot, but I was like, holy fuck, that looked brutal. Fraxium wins. And then Los Garza comes out. Man, Los Garza, we haven't seen them in a while. Good showing tonight. They came and they advanced. They beat Fraxium. So they advanced with the Wyatt Six coming out. Now, this is when I rolled my eyes and went, yeah, okay, we know what the fuck's going to happen. The Wyatt Six pinned Los Garza with R-Truth and Damian Priest now coming out. And to my surprise, pleasant surprise, put a smile on my face. I was actually pretty happy about it because I'm like, WWE did not do the predictable. We had R-Truth and Damian Priest win this match. Grizzle, go ahead.
I'm going to step in.
Huh?
Got eliminated.
Wyatt Six got eliminated.
Well, I was going to tell you, Wyatt Six actually got eliminated.
Yeah, Wyatt Six got beat with.
Los Garza eliminated Wyatt Six. You said the Wyatt Six won.
No, I said I thought that they were going to win. And surprised I was wrong.
No. Wyatt Six got eliminated by Los Garza.
Yeah, Los Garza.
You're right. You're right. My bad. You're right. I'm wrong about that. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Which was also a surprise. Actually, that was a surprise part. That a really big surprise part. That was Los Garza that pinned them. Regardless, props to WWE for that because I think me and most people, I know you said it gave away the match. Most were expecting the Wyatts to win. Start with Robbie, and then we'll go to you, Grizzle.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the guys that I feel bad for that are getting lost is Fraxium because they're good. And I think that they should get a title run.
Right.
So I feel bad for them that, they're just kind of there and they're not pushing them because I think they're one of their better tag teams. But I was like you, when Wyatt Six came out, I went, there's who's going to win this thing. And then when Los Garza beat them, I thought, wow, that's pretty good. And I'd have rather seen Los Garza go over R-Truth and Damian Priest, but I guess they're trying to do something, trying to bring Priest back, being relevant and thinking, okay, we throw R-Truth with them. Everybody loves R-Truth, and now we can get Damian relevant again, and we make them have a title run. It wouldn't surprise me to see R-Truth and Damian become champions and beat, the family tree.
Yep. Now, it's important to mention that the reason why the Wyatt Six lost was because MFT got involved in that match. The Boss Antelope 8658 says, I thought Road Dogg was fired. Apparently his ideas were still in the writing room. As of now, this not be confirmed. Road Dogg was not fired. As of now, it's saying that he stepped down. You never know, though. It may come out later that he was fired. But as of now, it's no, he stepped down. He thinks that the tag division is barren. Grizzle?
Disagree with that comment. As far as the match goes, no. When they did the promo with all this, telling Priest, you got a tag partner, and they said it was R-Truth, to me, that gave it away. And I even told my son who's watching the show with me, I went, okay, they're going to win the turmoil match. No, they're not. No, they're not. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. They put this team together, and it's another one of those, I don't want to team with this guy, but I'm going to. Okay, it's truth. All right, we'll do this. All right, and they're going to win. And like Robbie said, they're going to get the tag belts. They're going to get it run with the tag belts. You're going to have R-Truth and Damian Priest as your tag team champions. And that promo they did gave it away. When they said, here's your partner, I went, oh, there's the winner of the match. Yeah. So when the Wyatt Six came out, I was surprised that Los Garza beat them. But I was expecting, Priest and Damian to come out, and they were the last one. I figured they would beat them, and they could have just done the MFT thing, and we could have had the same type of finish. Right. So Los Garza beating Wyatt Six was a shock, but the winners of the match was not a surprise. That was given away totally by the random pairing that Nick Aldis made up.
Yeah, it wasn't a surprise for you. A lot of us were surprised. Now, R-Truth sporting that new look. Completely bald.
He looks weird bald. He needs the skull cap or something. It looks weird bald. It's an odd look.
Robbie, do you agree with that segment with Damian Priest and R-Truth announcement that they were tag teams that tonight? Did that give it away for you? Did that give it away for you?
To be truthful with you, no. you want me to? I didn't really pay attention to it. I kind of lost my interest a little bit, so I really just didn't pay it. It went in one ear and out the other.
Come on, man! We're doing recaps. We got to pay attention.
I'm sorry. They lost my interest.
Guys, we stayed backstage. Shows Drew McIntyre getting ready for the match. Then we stay backstage with Orton and Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn asks Orton if he can ask him a question, and he says, it's about the Cody Rhodes situation. And he wants to know, Randy, how do you talk about Cody being your friend, but then you'll basically stab him in the back? And Randy's like, sometimes you got to be selfish, and maybe that's you part of your problem. You need to start believing in yourself. Maybe start listening to your own voices. That's what it takes to be a champion. And then Randy Orton went on to say that, what? I believe in you. I think that you're going to be champion one day. Here's a question, guys. Did that little thing he said, that I believe in you, that you're going to be champion one day, is that a seed being planted that some way, somehow, Sami Zayn is going to cost Cody Rhodes that title for Randy Orton, because Randy's the one that said, I believe in you. Everyone else has just been kind of getting fed up and aggravated with Sami, right? So this is what it's leading to. By the way, Aleister Black tells Sami Zayn just the nature of the beast. Talking about Randy and the voices thing, I think. Grizzle, start with you.
There's something being planted with Sami, and I'm going to discuss that when we discuss the main event tonight. It's just kind of something I'm thinking, and like I said, there's so many interchangeable parts in the title match, and it just keeps getting larger and larger each time. So, Carmelo Hayes was the opening match on the show tonight.
Yep, we talked about it already. Yep, Robbie.
But that's kind of my look on it.
Yeah. What about you, man?
Yeah, I mean, I just think, like, I agree with that. There's if you try to read into this thing, there's just way too many interchangeable parts that they're trying. I don't know if the creative doesn't know which way to go, and they're kind of planting seeds here and there to make everybody think, we got something maybe here, we got something over here, maybe right here. If you look at all the parts that could be interjected in this, it's all over the place in my book.
Yeah. And boss, by the way, if you missed SmackDown tonight, you're asking, Carmelo Hayes did the open challenge match, and he faced Dr. Wagner III from AAA. And of course, Carmelo Hayes did retain his title. If you don't know who Dr. Wagner III is, he is actually AAA's Mexican champion. Next, guys, we go Rhea Ripley's face-to-face with Jade Cargill. Rhea calls Jade out, says, "You been talking smack, talking to my face." Jade shows up and offers Rhea her hand. Rhea took it, they shook. And Jade says, I am, she's like, I respect you. Respect you work at the gym. Respect, your arms. You have nice sized legs. I respect you, but the problem is that you don't impress me, though. Rhea, in return, offered Jade her hand, and they shook hands again. And Rhea's like, "That's fine if I don't impress you, but you do impress me because your arms are bigger, your legs are bigger, more powerful even. But here's the question: when you hit me with your best punch, with your best hit, do you think that's gonna keep me down? Because it's not going to. But when I hit you, you're staying down, Jade." And then she stole Jade's little line by saying she is that bitch. I'm surprised that we didn't get the typical brawl. We didn't. It ended with no contact whatsoever. Grizzle, your thought on this segment?
I enjoyed the segment. I had no issue with no physical contact. Right. We've seen the whole thing with the tweet that was put out between the two of them. Mm-hmm. Let them tell the story by talking shit.
Right.
Wait until the go home for Mania for a punch to be thrown. Talk smack, talk shit, do something different. Don't do what everybody else is doing right now. I like the promo. Rhea made a point in her promo that I totally agree with. Jade has a body for show. Rhea has a body for fighting. And I've always said that. Jade looks great, but she's not as good a talent as like a Rhea Ripley or even a Becky Lynch. She can't hold her own in the ring. She looks great. So the fact that Rhea said, you have a body for show, I love that part. That was like the part of the promo that was like my favorite line of the whole thing, because we've all said that. She looks great, but her wrestling ability doesn't match her look.
No. Robbie, man, you are not a Jade Cargill fan. So no. I can only imagine. What say you?
But no, the promo was good. And the same, I was going to, like what Bet said, you have a great body, but it's show. So it basically was the line, and I don't know how much you guys follow other sports or anything, but it makes me think of the line, and to me it's always been comical. Like they would say it mostly about guys that were coming to the NFL Combine, and they would say trains like Tarzan, plays like Jane.
Right.
And that's where that kind of took me. And I thought, so it was basically, you look like Tarzan, but you wrestle like Jane, know, and it made me laugh.
Guys, before we cover this next segment, we got to go back for a bit to the tag team gauntlet match when Motor Machine Guns was pinned by Faction. There was a little bit of silliness, goofiness happening because I don't know. I think it was, Chris Sabin went to put his partner's leg on the rope, but the referee didn't see it. So that's how the Motor Machine Guns got pinned. And now I had to mention this because of this next segment. Going to the Johnny Gargano depressed with Candice LeRae. Candice telling Johnny, man, you got to fucking do something. Like, this is no good. Now, Chris Sabin was out there, and his partner, I can't remember his partner's name.
Alex Shelley.
Alex Shelley walked in and was like, man, we just lost this match, and here you are dealing with this shit. They kind of got into it, and Alex Shelley was like, we got some more important things to talk about back here. Kind of have them disagreeing. And we'll get to Johnny Gargano in a second. I really fucking hope they are not going to split these two guys up, because WWE does not have enough men, enough tag team in the men's division to begin with, much less now breaking them up. because I'm pretty sure we're about pretty close to see the end of the Judgment Day. So we're going to lose that tag team, even though it was only here and there. But still, I don't know what they're thinking, in my opinion. Robbie?
You hope not. I mean, because especially those two, they had been getting together for so long.
Right.
So you'd hate to see them split them up because they're a true tag team, and that's, they've been together for so long. But WWE or even WWF has done goofy ass shit like that. But you would hate to see that. Just, unless that's what they want, if they want. I mean, we don't know the backstage part of it, unfortunately.
Right.
If they just said, hey, we had our run and we're tired of each other, or we want to part company,
Right.
That's the part we don't know. But if it's WWE wanting to split them up, I don't know. I disagree.
Yeah, I agree. It's one thing if Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin was like, look, we want to, before, because they're up there in age, and, maybe it's before we hang our boots up, leave them in the ring. We want to do a little bit of a singles run. That's one thing. But if it's WWE, I mean, now look, don't get me wrong. Would Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley have one hell of a fucking singles match against one another? Fuck yeah, they would, in my opinion. But I don't want to see them break up. Again, there's just not enough good tag teams in WWE, unless, of course, that's what they want. Grizzle?
I don't want to see them split because, like you said, the tag team division they need more. But speaking of the tag team division, maybe I've missed something. Where the fuck are the Street Profits?
They haven't been around for a while. I don't know what's going on with them. And Robbie asked me the same question last week. And Robbie, I apologize. I failed you. I was supposed to look into that, and I completely forgot.
But I mean, what I've heard, and I've just seen like a blip on, like, through social media, that they were like, Ford is supposed to be training really hard or whatever, and he's supposed to get a big push, which, I mean, he is the better one out of the two.
So it says that the Street Profits, Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins, have been absent for WWE television since October of 2025 due to a creative decision to freshen them up rather than injury, according to Wrestling Observer. Wrestling Observer, though. The team is undergoing a strategic reset following a long run as a tag team. So, there's no injuries or anything like that. Again, last appearance in October, they lost to the Wyatt Six. Potential repackaging. There is speculation regarding potential character change or a long-awaited singles push for Montez Ford. In an unexpected move, they were scheduled to work NXT live events in late January, suggesting a possible rebranding or reevaluation in development. Obviously, this is March. I don't think that happened in January. Basically, what I'm reading is they don't fucking know either.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. I know what Robbie's talking about. There was like a clip or something through like Instagram or TikTok or something.
Right.
And it was Montez wearing like a suit and tie and all dressed up, getting out of like a limo, whatever. And it was just him.
Right.
Yeah, no, I didn't see that. I just saw a thing that said that they were talking about.
Yeah, there was a clip a couple months ago, but that was it. It was just like one clip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, no, don't split the machine guns. I mean, we need more tag teams. And, but still,
I
on
agree.
to Johnny.
Now going to Johnny thing. Candace says you can't keep doing this. Johnny says sits up like he's the fucking Undertaker. Yes, you're right. Let's go to the ring. Now go to commercial, come back, and there's video of Uncle Howdy saying that Solo, he has attached himself to something that's not his, and that Uncle Howdy will not rest until his kid's lamp, or whatever you call it, is returned. Grizzle, your thoughts on this video, man?
It just, I mean, they were there. I don't know why they had to do the video thing. But,
right. That's the first thing I thought.
Why couldn't they have had Uncle Howdy like back in the back, surrounded by the family, saying the same shit? Why do we have to have a video clip? Because we knew they were there. We saw them earlier. But anyways,
Right.
yeah, no, same thing. And Johnny, I'm sad about how Johnny Gargano went down tonight.
We
I
will
got
talk
caught up
about
for a
that.
second.
We'll talk about that in a second. Robbie, I'm going to be honest. At first, the YS6, the MFTs with Solo Sikoa, I was invested in it. Like, this is good. Now I don't care. Because one, the Wyatts have not been on TV very often. And it's just made me lose interest. What about you?
Yeah, I agree with you. You just, because it would have, like, even to, okay, so when MFTs interfered in the first part, you could have had, somehow what Howdy or whatever do come at the MFTs, you know. So there were angles you could use in it, you just didn't.
Right.
And yeah, them not being around and just doing these packages and stuff, you're to the point like, and just go buy another lantern and like move on,
Right. Right. Yep. Next, we go back to the ring with Johnny Gargano, and he says, you know what? He is one of the best in the world. And he's going to prove it tonight. Once again, an open challenge. And then Overfit comes out. Guys, this is the part that, and you guys may disagree with me, but this is the part that I'm like, what the fuck, WWE? This is fucking a terrible decision by creative or whoever came up with this idea. Because Johnny Gargano is legit one of the best that they have. He is such a great performer in the fucking ring. He really is. He's had some fucking incredible matches in the past. And they have overcome to basically squash him. Not basically, it's completely squash him. Now, here's my thing. Unless they plan on never using Johnny Gargano again, unless they're planning on never giving him a title again. But at some point, I have to believe that Obafemi and Johnny Gargano are going to come across paths again. And this time, you're going to need it to be an actual match. This time, you're going to need it where Johnny Gargano, I don't know, maybe he has an IC title that Obama's going for. Obafemi. Except now, this can't be a squash match. But yet, you're going to want us to believe that Johnny's going to have a chance against Oba after what we just seen tonight? This is just stupid fucking booking, in my opinion. To me, this makes about as much sense as they did when Oba went and completely squashed a team that was once your tag team champions. Robbie?
Yeah, I saw him come out, I went, why would you do this? You would have been better off sending, I don't know, hell, it would have Kip and say something about Toxic or whatever and have Johnny, beat him. So make Johnny look, okay, Johnny's coming back. Okay, cool, stuff like this. No, you send this guy out and now you just squashed him and, like you kind of killed his credibility.
Yeah. Yeah, Grizzle, I get it. It's only professional wrestling. I get it.
No, that's Robbie's line, not mine.
I'm just saying, I get it though. But at the same time, come on. This is a guy that I haven't heard that he's close to his career ending. Are they not planning on using him? Is he someone that's going to get let go after WrestleMania? So they're just going to fucking book him this way? I mean, to me, again, this just wasn't smart in my opinion. Johnny Gargano is too fucking good to use him as, someone to get squashed to build up Overfitting. Your thoughts?
Well, see, that was my thing. We have the backstage. He's lying there. He gets up. He walks to the ring. My first thought was, oh, shit, this is what we were talking about last week. No. Johnny's going to come back. He gets in. I was thinking, okay, we're going to see, a Ray Phoenix or one of the guy that's also with the LWO that was wrestling with Dragon Lee and Ray that didn't have a mask. That guy, I can't think of. That's what I was expecting. I'm thinking, oh shit, we're gonna get like a Rachel. He's gonna answer. Fuck, here we go. This is what we were talking about. And then the lights went down, and you heard the who. I'm thinking, oh fuck. And yeah, it wasn't even like a. I mean, he tried to get offense. I think he threw a forearm like once.
Yeah.
I mean, this was almost worse than it did to the fucking War Raiders.
Yeah. Hey, Grizzle, I started to run.
How many runs in the corner did Johnny take?
Real quick, to your point though, say they would have brought out Ray Phoenix, right? And say Johnny would have still lost, but we would have gotten a hell of a match. That I get, because now they do the storyline that he's lost confidence for whatever reason, and this part of the storyline, and then he's going to come back. But to squash him like this, that was just terrible. Go ahead.
No, I agree. Like I said, I was looking, okay, fine, they're going to do something with Johnny now. And then he would just fed him to Oba, and I was just like, shit. Like I said, how many of those corner squashes did he take? Like 5? He literally just stood there like, okay, here comes another one. And okay, like he didn't even like try to move or duck, or like he totally forgot what to do. He just stood there and took like 4 or 5 of them in a row.
Right.
This was just brutal, and it doesn't do anything for Johnny.
Right.
Or the storyline, because now what are they going to do next week? Just have him laying there again?
Well, and that's what I was about to get to. To make things even worse, how do they pan out to go to commercial with him laying down on his stomach again, back in the same position that he's been in? So in other words, he just fought this big beast who his move is such a killer move. Talk about fall from grace. But yet he was able to come to right away to roll his fucking belly to be depressed. What the fuck?
Yeah, it just, no. I was hoped for the Johnny Gargano thing. Now I'm just like, fuck it. He's done.
I don't get it, guys. Next, backstage with Jay Cargill coming across Nishin with B-Fab. Sets up a match for next week. You know what? I don't care.
I don't either.
I don't either.
Because you know goddamn well there's no suspense. Misha's not gonna win this. We stay backstage with Nick Aldis. This kind of lightened up the mood a little bit. With Danhausen, with his list, asking for a mentor. I swore he said something about someone introducing him to put him in the Hall of Fame.
He wants a Hall of Fame induction this year.
Yep. And Nick Aldis kind of chuckles and says, well, hold on 1 second. And goes up to The Miz and introduces The Miz. And tells The Miz, hey, we got someone for your mentor. You know, you're the mentor. And introduces him to Danhausen. And Danhausen says, if basically, in a nutshell, if you don't, I curse you. And Miz like, and then Danhausen was reminded, oh, well, don't forget what happened to Dom on Raw.
He's right.
Grizzle, did you like this?
It was fun. See, I like Danhausen. I don't like the way they introduced him, because like that went over like a complete fart in church.
Right.
That was just horrible, you know. And then when they bring out that video footage where you actually see them roll out of the ring and underneath the ring, you're like, that was such a. It was literally gobbledygooker, you know, the next generation, that introduction. But I like Danhausen. I think it's a comical character. In the ring, the guy's not the greatest, but he can do a little bit. So he could be fun in like a match or two, depending on who he's with. I could see a match with him and Miz being kind of fun, because he could do his crazy shit and Miz just can't get his hands on him.
Right.
So I could see that. And I give total credit to the guy, because he created this gimmick that people really enjoy. So, you know, and he got signed to WWE, so more power to him.
I love
watching him.
I love when Miz called him a goth kid. Kind of made me laugh. Look, I didn't hate this. I didn't hate it at all. Going back to his introduction, one thing that I wonder is this WWE once again being WWE pissed off and spiteful WWE, Danhausen being that AEW talent that just got signed. Did they purposely do this to him, how they introduced him? Because the reason why I asked this, Grizzle, is because of this. We know WWE and their visual effects, right? fire coming down from the ring,
Yeah.
But yet, for Danhausen, his smoke in the ring was just literally a poof. It was literally something you expect from AEW. The little poof.
It was the Kenny Omega, John Moxley,
Right.
like exploding barbed wire death cage match. Poof.
Do you think this was done because of Danhausen coming from AEW?
Maybe. I don't know why they would waste time on one of their PLEs to do that, though. That just seems kind of petty. We're gonna sign the guy, but we're gonna make him look like an idiot. Okay, that's some petty bullshit right there.
Robbie, what'd you think about this segment, man?
I liked it. I mean, I liked it. I had no problem with it. It made me chuckle. You kind of hope it'd be kind of cool. Maybe you disagree, but to see Miz kind of like be his mentor for a little bit, thinking, okay, I don't want the curse on me, so I guess I will mentor you or whatever.
Oh, I
honestly think it would be an entertaining segment.
I think The Miz and Danhausen could probably do things together that would turn. I can see this turning into something very surprisingly big with those two in it together. I really do. Again, I don't like cheese in professional wrestling, but this wasn't something I consider cheese. It wasn't. Now, if they get to the point where Danhausen is doing all of this mysterious things because he has these powers and shit like that, that's going to grow old very quickly with me. But, something like this where he's this goth kid who thinks he's this vampire, I think him and The Miz could, do something work really well together. I really do. Guys, next we go to a video package that I think we really needed because I think that there's so much we probably forgot and we need to be reminded about. And of course, we're talking about the fucking video package of Drew and Cody's fucking feud and everything else. Did we really need a video of this?
No.
It's not like we've had this long break from the fucking feud that, okay, we need to be reminded about what happened. For fuck's sake. Next we go to the main event. Look, do I want to see this anymore? I don't. Was the match bad? Well, absolutely not. You have is Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes, for the love of God. Of course they're going to give you a good match. Although I will say Cody Rhodes needs to practice doing the Claymore kick a little bit better because it wasn't that great. But you guys said absolutely not. When we talked about this, not you, Robbie, you and Bob said, nope, you're wrong, Kevin. I called it. I said Cody Rhodes was going to win. You guys said, nope. Guess what? Cody Rhodes fucking won. Of course it was with the help of Fatu, cracking him in the head with the chair. Now, but this is the thing that I'm wondering about. And Grizzle, we'll start with you. Well, actually, here's a question. Was this match a no disqualification match?
I don't think so, but
there's
a lot of shit going on.
Well, but this is the thing. This is what made me wonder this before all the shit started happening. When Cody Rhodes had Drew McIntyre to 54 leg lock and Drew reached and grabbed the ropes, the ref wouldn't break the hold. He didn't break the hold. It was like, sorry, the rope means nothing. It's no DQ. Go back and watch it.
Yeah, I wondered that when I saw that. I wondered how come he didn't break the hold.
Right. Yeah, we had a lot of stuff. And then I wondered, okay, well, I guess the first ref, Little Nate, was okay with Drew pushing him purposely in the way. But then it was the second ref, Angler, who Drew gave the Glasgow's kiss to a headbutt. And I was wondering, after Cody won the match, I was expecting Angler to come and say, no, this disqualification. He hit me. This is, Cody wins, but he keeps the title because this is I'm disqualifying him. Maybe this may happen next week. Is that a possibility? No. I don't know, but it was confusing. It was.
It was, most definitely. Overall, this match was okay. Mm-hmm. But like I said, it opens up so many, because Fatu interfered to cost Drew the belt. So you could go Randy and Cody in one match, and you could go Drew and Fatu in another match.
That's what I was thinking.
Or you could do a fatal 4-way with all 4 of the guys in that match.
Right.
Or you could do a triple threat with Drew in that match saying, I got screwed, I want my shot back. You could do a triple threat with possibly Sammy, because now he's coordinating with Cody Drew. You could even go crazy enough now, and they could introduce the 5-man match where you would have Cody, Randy, Drew, Jacob, and Sammy in like some 5-way thing. God forbid they might even add a 6-person make a 6-pack challenge. I don't know. There's so many interchangeable parts in this title thing. Somehow Jacob and Sammy are going to play in this. Drew's not out of it. The only definite we have is Cody's champion and Randy has the title shot. That's the only thing we know that's concrete right now.
Yeah, but Robbie, as I said earlier, I'm confused about the stipulations of this match. Was this a fucking no DQ or not? Because it doesn't make sense. Because it wasn't like it could have been accidentally Drew got the ref to be the one to get the stunner by Cody. No, he did that purposely. It's known. The ref knew it. And then again, he headbutted fucking Angler, right? Purposely. I'll go back to you, Vet.
I just thought of something.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just thought of another twist in this. You're right. It was a no disqualification match. Drew did this. Cody did not win the title. But because of what Drew McIntyre did, he does not retain the title. The title has been stripped. It is now a 5-man ladder match.
Yeah.
Boom. There's another possibility.
But I want to get to the point I'm making about tonight. I mean, it seemed this match was unorganized in the fact of was it a DQ or not? Because going back to the very simple grabbing the ropes, figure 4 leg lock, the ref not breaking it, not even doing a 5 count.
Right.
I get your point.
No, and I saw that, and I go, how come he's not breaking it? Because he's got the ropes. Right. I don't remember them saying it wasn't a DQ or anything. That you had plus that you complain about. You could say that. You could say something about pulling Charles into the stunner or whatever, the cutter, but also when Drew headbutted the other ref, that should have been an automatic DQ right there. Yeah. So I mean, but like he's saying, now you've made Sammy part of this. You've made Cody's part of this. Drew, Fatu, Randy, just because he won the Elimination Chamber. So there's 5 people. You wonder, okay, we're just going to do these storylines, but are we going to?
There's 6. You missed one. I think Nick Aldis is going to get in it now.
I thought you were going to say Trick Williams for a second.
Well,
but you know what? That's a possibility.
It's a possibility. You joke about it, but think about it, and Nick still looks in good shape. And obviously, you could drag him in this because, with him and Drew,
Well, but like Grizzle said too, Trick Williams after tonight getting RKO'd,
right?
So yeah, there's a lot of shit happening. But
you wonder if they know where they're going with this.
Right? Yeah, I don't know. But I agree, it was a good match. But you knew it was going to be a good match. It's Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre. How can you not have a good match with these two in it? Mm-hmm. Overall, guys, I'm going to give the show a B-. Oh, the minus is only because of the confusion of this match of was it a DQ or not? That kind of brought it down a little bit. Because you just didn't know. Robbie?
Yeah, I agree with you. A B-. And like I said, there were a couple other things that just you didn't really need.
Right.
You threw them in there. That's where they got the minus from. Yep. We did. Yep. It would have been nice to see Julia and Kiana win. So on that, because I'd like to see him push Kiana more because she's shown she can go.
Right. Yeah, Grizzle.
We're gonna end this note agreeing with each other because I'd give it a B- as well. And the confusion, the title match, was it a no DQ match? We did a little confusing. Couple promos that weren't necessary, But yeah, no, I'll go with a B- as well.
Now, I will say this though: the past couple of SmackDowns have been so much better than they were previous weeks. Matter of fact, they've been so much better since they've gone to 3 hours. It seems like since they went to 3 hours, the SmackDowns have been really hard to watch. Seems like the past couple of weeks they haven't been as hard to watch because of being how long they were. It flowed pretty well. Yeah. So B- is what SmackDown has gotten. Anything else going on, guys?
I read somewhere that possibly Jordan might have gotten injured on main event.
By the way, happy birthday, Jordan Grace.
Before recording, they were taped main event, and I heard something about she might have gotten injured. I don't know. I haven't heard anything concrete yet. So
now you're talking about Saturday Night Main Event, right?
No, main event. That thing that they still have like on Peacock or whatever.
They had Jordan Grace on it though.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what's main event? So is it like a show that's just on Peacock or?
Yeah, it's like it's a Peacock, or I think it's still on Peacock. Yeah, it's called Main Event. It's usually the B guys, and it's a show kind of like when they had Velocity and Sunday Night Heat and those type of things. But it's called Main Event, and yeah,
Royce Keys has been on it.
He debuted on Rumble, and the following week he was on Main Event.
Okay,
not on one of the main roster shows.
I'll have to go check it out. Then I didn't know they had that or whatever. So
yeah, but in this thing, Jordan Grace, Alba Fire defeated Jordan Grace, and there's video online that after the match, you see the referee holding up the X.
Alba Fire.
Alba Fire defeated Jordan Grace.
Jordan Grace, who they had as a contender for the World Championship,
got beat by Alba, but the referee was calling for an injury thing, so I don't know if the injury was due to what made the win. I don't know if maybe she got hurt and they had to go with that because she couldn't finish or what. That's the confusion.
You know what? I would have stopped the match before I would have had. Nothing against Alba Fire. I like Alba Fire.
I haven't read all the details.
Incredibly talented in the ring, but surely going by just the way they booked her, having her beat Jordan Grace, wow. But then again, it is main event, which nobody watches, so therefore,
and there is a possible injury involved, so there's some factors. I don't know.
But
I was reading about this right before the show started.
It would surprise me that they went within a matter of 2 weeks of being up here with Jordan Grace, and all of a sudden, we're going to start having you freaking lose against people like Alba Fire.
So,
terrible. Know. Robbie, anything going on, man?
Yeah, May 9th, the match coming up at the Twisted Fork, May 9th at 2:30 in the afternoon. Main event's the Bunkhouse Brawl elimination, and I will be in that. So
you got a kendo stick again?
Yes, I do. It's a Bunkhouse Brawl. It's any weapons go. So
I still love that video. Probably whooping the shit out of it.
There's going to be some surprises.
Tomorrow, guys, 3 p.m. Central, I have Heather Lynn, who is a professional wrestling valet, a manager, a ring announcer, primarily active on the indie circuit. She is closely associated with future stars of wrestling in Las Vegas, where she manages multiple wrestlers. She's also part of Portermania. She's going to be interviewing her. Super excited about that. She is a great young lady. So, yeah, subscribe to the podcast, guys, so you guys don't miss it. It's going to be live on YouTube and Facebook. Again, 3 p.m. Central, a very rare Saturday interview. It's going to be done. Super excited about that. Looking forward to that. Other than that, guys, join us again on Tuesday as we talk about Monday Night Raw. What's going to happen? It's going to be great. Are we going to love it? Or are we just going to think it's okay? What will Robbie and Bob Cook argue about?
Then on Friday nights is the happy show. We all agree with each other.
Right. That's it, baby.
Yeah, Thursday night. On Thursday night, we talk about Dynamite. Dynamite last week was great. I loved Dynamite last week. Same thing. Did we love it? Did we like it? Was it just okay? I don't know. Find out. Tune in. Also, don't forget, guys, you're more than welcome to join in with your comments that I do read. You don't need no fucking dumbass super chat. You'll pay $10 just to join in. No, we want our fans to join in.
So
Tell us what you think about whatever show we're talking about that we're watching, Robbie.
Okay, sorry to interrupt you, KT.
Yeah.
So anybody that watches this show that knows me or Bob or both of us personal, you have to con KG into one night doing a show. Who was the worst father, Bob or me?
Wow.
Hey, it's a neck and neck thing there.
Damn.
Oh man, I don't know. Maybe.
And the good thing out of it, though, both our kids turned out well.
That's always good.
Yeah. On that note, you guys enjoy the rest of your Friday night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow at 3 p.m. Central for that interview with Heather Lynn. Have a great night, guys.
Have a good weekend, guys.